I'm a teacher. This is what I do. Like a builder builds or a sculptor sculpts, a preacher preaches and a teacher teaches. We are experts in the art of explanation. I know the difference between the questions to answer and the questions to ask.
I think a good teacher gets to know her students or his students and tries to understand them and tries to present the material in a way that they're going to receive it and not just go on their own agenda, think that their way is the only way. They need to open themselves up to other ways.
Engage with the students and everything.
Yeah, engage with the students. And it's very important to be compassionate and really care, because students can detect if the teacher cares.
What I think makes a good teacher is, first off, one who has a passion for teaching and who has not lost the joy of learning, and being able to recognize that in a student and being able to nurture it.
Middle school, I had a social studies teacher, and he was a rather engaging individual. So we got the class involved in all kinds of different projects. He got us involved in filming. So that was nothing that was really part of the curriculum before that. He just did it on his own. I guess the class, if I remember right, was divided up into so many groups, and each group had to come up with some kind of film that hopefully had some kind of moral value. So that was a worthwhile project, something that was very memorable.
I am a visual learner, so if I sat in a lecture class, it would go in 1 ear and out the other. So me, for myself, I have note takers, or I do extra tutorials, and I have two teachers that I absolutely take every single semester, or if I'm taking math, I take all their math classes, because they do support disability students, allow us to retake tests. They do the note takers, they do PowerPoints, which helps more than lectures, and then they also allow tours from the class, or someone who's graduated or taken a course before to sit down with you and explain things to you more than just a video, in a more visual way.
I think that's kind of an open-ended question, but I would try to make a couple of points first. The first is that students, humans, are naturally curious people, and are always looking for ways to find solutions to problems. So the first thing is that you have to have a student know why he or she is going to work on some problem. I did some work before with kids, talking to them about basic algebra, and we were talking about an example where you're going someplace in a car, and you want to get there in a certain amount of time, and how fast would we need to go? So we started talking about 45 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour, and so forth, and none of these kids could drive yet, and they just didn't know what that meant. So you have to have a level of problem that applies to them. They have to be able to identify, they have to verbalize why it's important to them. And at that point, I found that they're usually pretty willing to experiment with different ways of learning, even if it's not a way that they've tried before. Will schools ever be able to accommodate every kind of learning in the best way possible? I don't know. That's just not a question I think it has an answer worth pursuing. But I do think that what we need now is more hands-on type of learning in schools, and less passive learning like we're doing right now.
educators, and it's really sad that if you want to teach children, you almost have to take a vow of poverty because you're not going to be earning around $40,000. Unless you go to like maybe a charter school that hopefully still has funding and that sort of thing. But I think that's a shame that the teachers aren't paid more because they shouldn't have to go from the small amount that they're being paid and take from their own pocket just to make sure that the students are having all the supplies and everything that they need, and having to send out wish lists to the parents before school year even starts. It's a sad state of affairs, and I think that we have to put more money in the education of our children because you guys are the future. How can we get you prepared if we don't have enough money to get you tablets or laptops or access to a computer and fast internet, not one that's going to crash or be too slow for you to be able to do your work?